Welcome to The Weird and the Weary. I'm Jason. With me is Kevin.
Hi there.
And Lee.
Have I told you how much I miss you?
And today we're here to talk to you about sometimes when people feel that they need attention, sometimes they'll act out. Kids color on walls. Sometimes they break things. Sometimes people pretend to be sick, and they pretend to be really sick, or they try to make someone sick for the sake of attention. And it's called Munchausen by proxy.
Is that movie by Terry Gilliam?
No, that's the Boring Adventures of Captain Baron von... No, that's the Adventures of Baron von Munchausen. That was a weird movie.
Actually, it was just Baron Munchausen. They left out the von.
Did they?
At least for the title.
Well, that's a lot of words. Like when I said it, I almost coughed. We're talking about Munchausen by proxy, and that's a disorder where somebody will feign illness, or in some cases, the parents will try to make their child sick.
But why would
someone under their care? Someone under their care. I mean, it happens to like residential care with elderly. It happens with children. It happens with it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess it seems to be more with children in most cases, from what I've seen over time.
Yeah, I feel like it's just easier to manipulate the kids.
Certainly. Somebody residential care, even if they're not lucid, they might snap to and tell somebody if they're able, hopefully. But children
tell somebody.
Unfortunately, children are they're an innocent target, and one of them was named Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and her mother was Dee Dee.
Mm-hmm. Claudine, who was later part of her life was known as Dee Dee Blanchard. So yeah, ever since Gypsy Rose was little, her mom was diagnosing her with all sorts of things. She said, "Oh yeah, even at 3 months old, she's got sleep apnea. She's having problems sleeping."
I mean, I've seen some babies sleep, and they can really just hammer out the noise with their little soft palates. And it just happens. I mean, but to say that a baby has apnea that barely has any body fat or much neck control or anything, I don't know. That's not fair.
No, you don't understand, doctor. My baby goes through some shit.
She's eaten some shit in her 3 months.
She sleepwalks. But your baby's 3 months. I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's what's so crazy.
And that's, ma'am, Dee Dee, that's not apnea. Sleepwalking is not apnea. You don't know my child. I know my child. And on the flip side of that, like, why do you want your child to be sick? Like, oh, dear, my 3-month-old has sleep apnea. But that's the sickness.
Yeah. The older she got, she kept saying there were more problems. She got problems with her vision. She got problems with her hearing. She got problems with her breathing. She all of a sudden said she got muscular dystrophy, so she couldn't walk anymore. Had to sit around in a wheelchair.
Goodness.
She got a feeding tube inserted in her. Said she got digestive problems. Can't do that anymore. She said her brain was developing at a slower rate, so she was a few years behind where she should be. So, yeah.
Yeah, a parent knows their child, probably more intimately than a doctor would. So I guess you can't really spout out medical diagnoses because you're not a doctor.
Right.
But there's something wrong with your kid when there's something wrong with your kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of things to be wrong with your kid.
Or there's just something wrong with that person.
Well, who knows? I mean, that's such a lovely name, Gypsy Rose.
I know. I'm talking about the mother. I'm not talking about Gypsy.
Oh.
Are you telling me that Dee Dee is not a wonderful individual?
It just sounds wrong to me. Why would someone do such a thing?
Well, let's just bring it on back and talk about Dee Dee here for a bit.
Dee Dee.
Claudine.
Her name is Claudine, but most people knew her as Dee Dee. Even going back to her growing up, she had a history of problematic behavior. She was busted for shoplifting, had some illegal action going on there. She had a series of check frauds. She would also get a bunch of credit cards and family members and friends' names.
Oh, that's classy.
Yeah, pretty nice. Overall, she the more that she was around people, the less they wanted her around.
I see.
Seemed to be kind of a running thing in her history.
Dee Dee, go away, Dee? No, I don't know. Just go away, Dee Dee.
Yeah, just get out of here. You're not wanted.
Look at Dee Dee, you better flee, flee. Here come Dee Dee. No.
Give me my Costco card back. I want that in my...
Actually, you know what? Just keep it. I can get a new one because it's lost, stolen.
It has your picture on it anyway.
It's not going to do me any good, Dee Dee. Nobody looks like you.
You smell like jerky that's been in the sun for 5 days.
Now go away.
So, yeah, everyone was telling her to go away except for, the police actually were trying to find her a lot of the time.
Come here, let me talk to you for a minute. That's the only time that ever happens.
Everyone needs a friend. Everyone needs a friend sometimes, and the police can be friendly.
So can the other people that were in there before you.
So she was going out to bowling alley because that's where you go to pick up people down in the Bayou region, I believe.
It's probably a happening place in the bowling alley.
Yeah. So
Disco Bowl.
She was down there when she was like 23 or so, and she started seeing this guy down there, Rod Blanchard.
Oh, hello there, Rod Blanchard. And she has like I'm just imagining Dee Dee, with the midriff tied,
yes.
and the cutout, like the Daisy Dukes, like just totally Daisy. This is Daisy Duke Dee Dee.
Okay.
But it sounds like Dee Dee's exposed area will look like melting.
It's slovenly. It's going to be a slovenly. Slovenly Dukes of Hazzard here.
What was it? Pizza the Hut?
Yes.
Right, because it's always hot in where she is.
Yeah.
Fucking swampland.
Well, she's burning with desire. She's looking for...
she's melting with desire.
Melting with desire. She's melting with desire, dripping with lust, and ready to meet Rod Blanchard.
Rod Blanchard. All right. So he's coming in here. He's all of, I think, at that time he was like late 16, maybe 17.
And how old was Dee Dee?
She was like 23.
So she's fucking with young boys that don't know better.
Right. She's going for the fellows that she cannot already take out credit cards in their names. She's maybe she's just grooming. Who knows?
Be my getaway driver.
Can you drive me to the mini mart and you get some refreshments? And then I'll take you upstairs.
Ooh.
In my motel room.
Hey, can we stop at the pharmacy? I gotta get something for my swamp thing. Swamp thing was that.
You'll find out.
Yeah, you'll find out. It's low, but look, it's got to stop to survive it.
It's just in all of our best interests. So, pretty much exactly like you're saying. She goes and seduces Rod and quickly becomes pregnant. So,
moving fast.
It being the South, he says, you know what? Got to be an honest man about this. Got to marry her.
So he combed back his mullet.
Mm-hmm.
Took off his hat.
Voluntary shotgun wedding.
Right.
Yep.
Put on a full T-shirt, no cut off sleeves.
Maybe even the fancy one with the little tucks printed on the front.
So he wore a long sleeve. Nice. That's classy.
Nice.
He even used scissors to make a little penguin tail.
And a new pair of dungarees, and they wed. Okay, and so a little gypsy was born, and they're a little family.
Oh, nope.
No,
she's pregnant, and before even little gypsy comes out, he goes, wait a second. I think I did this for all the wrong reasons.
So about a little less than 9 months.
Yeah, they made it almost a year.
So his happy birthday, he's like, I'm 17, I'm getting out.
Yeah, he said, I woke up and I said, I'm 18 now. What am I doing with my life with Dee Dee?
Yeah, who saw that couple and was just like, I'll give it a year. It's like Price is Right time.
Not even. You got to be closest without going over. It didn't work.
You were under, you went.
Yeah, that's a single Plinko chip, if anything.
It's just a straight drop. It don't touch nothing. That's what happened with Rod, too. It didn't touch nothing. Bloop.
So, yeah, Rod said, you know what, that's enough for me.
Love is fleeting.
Yep, and so am I.
Feats don't fail me now.
So he electric boogalooed right out of there. And Dee Dee had a little Gypsy Rose. They agreed on the name. I guess that she liked Gypsy.
What do you, like, call from a payphone? Hey, by the way, Dee Dee, I like the name Gypsy Rose a lot. I got a tattoo of it. Okay, I'll see you never. Right out.
Bye.
Bye.
Right out.
You see, like, the Camaro squeak.
Hey, Rod, you said that, though.
So, yeah, she took off and went back to live with her parents. It was her father and her stepmother.
Oh.
Rotten apples.
Well, here's a formula for success.
Okay. Yeah.
You move in.
Yep.
You're 25 with a baby.
Yep.
And you move in with a wicked stepmother.
Yep.
Well, Cinderella didn't do it like this because, her dad died.
Yeah.
But, I just see this ending up Prince Charming. Well, no, he's not very charming.
She don't need Prince Charming.
Okay.
She take care of this wicked stepmother on her own. So shortly after she moves in,
She's a broom.
Her brother was a teacup. Her uncle was a chamber pot. Go ahead.
So she goes in, and suddenly her stepmother becomes increasingly ill.
Oh.
Suspicious.
Did she... she was like a healthy woman prior to this?
Yeah, she was perfectly healthy, and then Dee Dee comes in. She's like, I'll start helping out around the house. Maybe I'll start cooking some meals for people.
Oh, so yeah, little Claudine Dee Dee gumbo. Mm-hmm. Because she Creole.
Right. I assume that's like half the diet down
so
there.
that Rue's a little suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Ajax or something.
Pretty close.
Visine.
They used Roundup. She was using Roundup weed killer.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that will do it.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. I don't know if you guys saw it in the news where they were like, yeah, that's also causing cancer and all that.
I did. That's Monsanto, right?
Yeah. Sure is.
Some bad stuff.
Man, Satan.
Funny story. As a youth, we used to pull some pranks on people, and one of those was round up in ice cube trays and then freeze it, and then kind of toss it on the lawn. The ice cubes.
Yeah.
Oh, mess up someone's lawn.
Oh yeah, big patches.
Got him.
Got a network.
That's kind of like what Dee Dee was doing, except she was doing it in food.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, is your soup too hot? Bloop. Right in there,
You know what I like to do when I go grocery shopping and it's just like a few shot under the door? I just say, round it up.
Always round up.
Always round up. Feeling, it's like...
She probably liked The Price is Right. She probably watched The Price is Right all day, and she got the idea like round it up because that's how you win the showcase showdown, and then you just go buy Roundup, and
she's like, that's how I'm going to win the stepmom showdown.
Right, I'll be the stepmom.
Who's the stepmother now?
So her family caught on, and they were like, something weird's going on. Every time you cook meals for stepmom over here, she ends up more sick. And they're like, I think maybe you're spiking it with some poison or something. And she goes, what? How dare you? I'm going to pack up my bags and just get out of here on an unrelated note. But how dare you, and how dare you guys come talk to me that way?
As she drifts away into the darkness.
I left you Kool-Aid in the fridge, Mom. It's for you.
A week later, she was miraculously better.
Exactly. Yeah, that was... interesting.
Some people could have been. She could have been allergic to Dee Dee's fragrances.
Yeah.
So Mom gets better. she's probably cooking for herself now, hopefully.
Yeah, she at this point she fled off to Seidel, where she was then living in public housing.
Oh, with little Gypsy Rose.
With little Gypsy Rose,
who has probably gathered at least like 7 to 8 more diseases from this trek.
You're so correct. So during these early years, she was taking Gypsy. They were going to hospitals all over the place. And, just start out with little things like, whatever. She's not sleeping well with the sleep apnea. She's got a couple problems seeing and hearing, so putting, like, tubes in her ears to try to help out with the hearing.
Right. How old is she at this point? Little girl?
Just over the first few years, yeah. She was pretty young.
And see, the doctors are just doing this upon request?
There was a lot of weird stuff where she wouldn't go to the same doctor more than 1 or 2 times. Just kind of spread them out.
Because they don't have a history of the patient.
Right.
And you know what's fucked up about this is that she's actually opening up the possibilities of her actually getting something.
Right.
Because of all these different things being performed to her that don't need to be performed. That's fucked up, man.
That's definitely something that started happening. They started putting her on all these medications, and they were giving her the symptoms that they were supposedly trying to treat.
And so they were like, "Oh, it's aggressive," so they keep at it and at it.
So keep adding more stuff.
Torturing this.
Yeah, she's effectively poisoning the small girl. It got to the point where she was just giving her a Barbie doll as they went to the hospital every time, and she was like, "Don't even worry about what I'm telling the doctors. It's just a little story." It's nothing you need to concern yourself with. And she was like, if anyone asks you anything, don't say anything. Just sit there and play with your dolls all the time. And a couple of the times she even like would cover up her ears. That way she wouldn't get the whole story. So when she was like telling him how old she was, things like that, she could lie about that without her ever knowing what her real age was. So, she's just making up all of their backstory.
Manipulative.
Yeah,
that's evil. That's worse than what was that, Mommy Dearest? Jesus.
Oh yeah, I mean that was different. That was just more, psychosis. Psychosis. This is
psychosis acted out.
Well, yeah, but this person's obviously in a different kind of existence. To willingly just poison someone to watch them get ill, so people, come to you. Even in your most twisted form, you still have moments of clarity, I believe.
Right.
And this person's definitely watching this kid, die, and the mother die, and as they're putting Roundup in the soup or whatever she used in the, whatever food, she's probably like, why am I doing this? Or
then that crazy side says, "Oh, you know why you're doing this. Do it."
Right,
and that's just gets shut out.
It just baffles me how the mind can want to just kill.
Yeah,
hurt other people.
I mean, I see a little puppy, I want to squeeze it. That's science. Science has proven that we just want to like mash cute things.
So cute.
You ever see like a cute little thing? You're like, you were looking at corgi butts.
Corgi butts.
Yeah, right. So if you saw a little corgi butt, you'd be like,
I'm not gonna mash
I want to kill it. Like your first instinct's to kill the corgi's butt.
I don't.
Well, yeah. No, because you've heard like people like, oh my god, I just want to eat it up.
Sure,
right. Like my dogs, I would eat my dogs.
I want to annihilate them.
Like those old cartoons. Oh, George.
Right, I'm gonna mash you. Lenny from Mice and Men. He wants to tend to the rabbits and pet them and squeeze them.
Now look at the sunset. Look at it. Look at it set. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Spoilers.
Oh boy, spoilers so much.
God,
60 plus years. Sorry,
it was on my to-do.
So Gypsy's growing up in a really bad environment.
Yep. She's getting pretty much poisoned.
Moving from home to home.
Yep. At this point, her mom convinces the doctor she has like a muscular dystrophy thing. So
these are really fucking shitty doctors.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely are. Because they were like, oh yeah, she's got a family history of it. Everywhere she goes, she claims to have a family history of whatever it is they're dealing with at the time.
I think these were the same doctors that wound up doing the cocaine Quail.
With the quails? All right.
Would you like to poach Coke, baby?
You know what that baby needs?
This cures muscular dystrophy cocaine.
Surprise, this is part 2 of the Coke Quails. I'm just kidding. No, fuck that.
So this is like 1990s, like late 90s?
Should be like early 2000s or so at this
okay.
point.
So that doctor's medical certificate says like 1897 because he's trying to give you cocaine for muscular dystrophy. So.
Listen, I'm a doctor. I need laudanum. Please, just give me the fucking laudanum.
I forgot the combination to my medical safe.
Looks like your little girl's got ghosts in her blood. We're gonna have to coke them right out of there.
Poor Gypsy Rose is, torture if he just started giving Dee Dee Barrett, like, cocaine injections. Might have just,
No. She hadn't done that.
She would have had more kids.
Things,
She would
yeah.
have had more kids. Never mind.
She'd been looking for a whole bunch of goldenrods for a swamp thing.
So yeah, right around now, she convinces her little girl that you can't walk anymore. She tells her that it's in her best interest if she just doesn't walk anymore.
You got to give her credit. That's a pretty good magic trick.
Mother knows best.
Shit! That's like a stage act.
But then they went to the Born Again circuits and then made a lot more play.
No, but I feel like right around here, maybe you were right. She started getting a little bit of a conscience or something. Because you see her recording and all the girls are in ballet, and then all of a sudden there's this one day that this little girl Gypsy comes in and she's just laying on the floor because she's told she can't walk anymore. So she's kind of bummed out. So Mom decides what's best to do, but take her away from all those little kids. That way you don't feel so bad about this. So she pulls her out of public school in 2nd grade. So she's going to start homeschooling her. Because that's the best thing to do with a child in this situation is to spend every second with them.
Right, because Mother knows best.
Mother knows best.
To make another Dee Dee. Oh, God.
Well, I mean, at the rate she's going, it'll just be a D.
Okay, so after this, she took her out of public school. Now she's just pretty much out of records everywhere. So Hurricane Katrina hit the area in 2005. And then Dee Dee says, wouldn't you know it, all Gypsy's medical records just got destroyed by this flood.
All of them. Even
Everything.
The ones not even where Katrina didn't hit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Birth certificate, too, also destroyed.
You just give the kid a new name at this point. Really just change everything.
But why would you?
Because Gypsy Rose, you're either destined to be a stripper or a cashier.
Or a romance writer.
Well, that would be just a pen name, though. Like, that's such a great one. Like, Diablo Cody. Oh.
No, that'd be the thing. She'd be like, Gypsy Rose. Oh, that is the best pen name. She'd be like, no, that's my name. What makes you think it's a pen name? I ain't got to hide who I am.
I drink Roundup.
Shit, I drink Roundup and everything else dies.
Shot of it. Roundup.
You ever seen a zombie before? Here.
Comes in just huffing the aerosol cleaner with that spray air.
Smoke break.
Gypsy Rose here.
Oh, poor Gypsy.
Yep. So Hurricane comes through, destroys all her stuff, and she gets airlifted out to Missouri.
Jesus.
I kind of wish like that would, I could just do that. Like, oh shit, a flood happened.
Everything's gone.
I'm not who I am anymore.
Nope.
My records are gone. I have a new everything. I'm a new person. And then airlift me to Missouri. Thank you.
Right out to Missouri. So they get out to Missouri, and she's single mom with her increasingly sick child who's wheelchair bound and at this point is supposedly mentally handicapped.
And got a free helicopter ride.
Yep, out to Missouri. So, what goes great with that is a free house.
Oh, well, fuck yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Habitat for Humanity, they caught wind of her whole story, and they felt bad because it's a pretty sad story if you didn't know what was going on behind the scenes.
Sure. I mean, and I would be like, hey, can I get a helicopter ride to the store? You know, just I just need, it's like a mile away, but.
Oh, guys, I know we just got up in the air, but I really gotta go to the bathroom. Can we come back down?
Just make it rain.
It looks like it's going to be pooping on the side of the other. Oh, good. I was gonna go.
So she got a new house from Habitat for Humanity. Their story made it on the news. They started getting all this outcry of public support. Everybody loves this mother-daughter couple. They do everything together. They're so sweet.
Sure, and you're also milking the the tragedy of Katrina. On top of that, we had to airlift her out because she has muscular dystrophy, AIDS paralysis.
Yes, she's got all the above. Disability section comes up at this point. She just says yes. Is the muscular AIDS paralysis?
Yo, man, we're here to fight MAP. That's that muscular AIDS paralysis. This shit is deep. It goes deep. Help and go deep in your pocket to help us out. MAP.
George Bush does not care about muscular AIDS paralysis.
Does not care about MAP people.
Pete Davidson's face, not Mike Myers' face, is appearing very confused right now.
Oh, shit.
Wait, was that song from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs? Was that like a benefit song for MAP?
Well, just in case you didn't know, Ariana Grande gives no shits for Pete Davidson or Mr. Kanye West. Dude, she wants you to listen to her album, and I think Taylor Swift's. I usually listen to my shit. Oh, God. Okay. What happened?
Sorry, Taylor Swift. I'm going to let you finish.
Oh, we're doing a Taylor Swift podcast now? Great.
Oh, good. Flip the page over. We're on to the Taylor Swift section.
Oh, my God, Kevin, you're amazing. Holy shit.
I foresaw this.
Holy shit.
I learned it from Trump. I'm playing 6D chess over here. I knew where this was going as soon as I started.
So having all these ailments... Yeah, and Katrina, milking Katrina?
Yeah, so at this point they're cashing on all sorts of stuff. They go to Disney World, they got backstage passes, Miranda Lambert, they're getting flights.
Ooh. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, they're getting flights all over the places. Rod is still paying child support as well on here, so...
Wow, and how much is he paying about in a month?
He's paying $1,200 because she's got all sorts of stuff going on.
Oh, right, yeah, a lot of sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's a $1,200 rash of mistake there for at least, let me see, I don't know, 18 years down there probably.
Yeah, longer than he was alive when he first got started here.
And the worst part is, at this point, Gypsy still is like, she's a kid, and she's being told she's sick, and she's getting all these fun things now.
Yeah, all sorts of fun things, including all more surgeries and stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's what all kids want.
That's exactly what they want.
In Missouri, there's even shittier doctors, it sounds like.
Yeah. They'll just kind of jump on board for anything. Like, there was... one fun little tidbit was where Dee Dee was rubbing anesthetic on Gypsy's gums before they went to the hospital.
Oh.
That way she's just in there drooling her mind out. And,
wow.
So
that's jeez.
Yeah.
So what did they do?
Is there like a forum for this shit? Because that's like, where do you even think of this shit? Like,
Hey, man,
I don't know, man. Like somebody, this has been passed on for years.
madness and genius exist in the same room.
That's the old classic,
right here.
Classic sex move. You gotta loosen up your mouth a little bit. You just rub some of the.
So it's like mouth poppers.
Yeah, exactly.
That was around the time of laudanum and Green Fairy were
right. So you just switch to the little amyl nitrate and.
Ooh, all in.
Hey, give me that popper.
But don't you look at me.
Oh shit! I got some velvet for you.
So they got the anesthetic rubbed on. She's drooling like crazy. So what do the doctors do to stop her from drooling? Put her under and totally remove her salivary glands. Done with those.
Wow.
Yep.
How the fuck is she supposed to eat?
She doesn't. Now she gets a feeding tube put in.
This is a horror
dark.
story. This is like
That's dark as shit.
something I've like some weird stories I've read from the web.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like one was like some weird, it's been passed around. It's not, I don't seek out stories like this, but this one was passed around because of like a BDSM story. But the girl gets put into like a master slave situation, and then they like, you know, take all of her hair off her body and take her to parties and show her the good life, and then they put her in a block of concrete.
The box.
Yes.
Oh,
that's fucked up.
That's super fucked up.
And this kind of parallels that because of like what's happening to this girl. Like she's being cut open for no reason, and she's being like turned into something that she never was supposed to be.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, but yeah, her mother was shaving her head as they were going through all this too, because she said, well, you know, I think one of the things she said at some point was she has some sort of cancer or something. She was like, it's going to make your hair fall out anyway, so we'll just shave your head and get it all out of the way now.
Wow.
Oh, so it made it look like she...
Yeah. Made it look like she was going through chemo. On the plus side, there was actually one doctor that immediately saw this shit coming from a mile away. And he wrote down in his notes that he was like, I think there's a Munchausen Syndrome by proxy going on here. This Dr. Flasterstein.
Dr. Flasterstein seems to be the only good one out of probably 30, 40 doctors.
Yeah, seems that way.
So I take it back. Missouri has at least one good doctor.
Yeah, but he's not overly ambitious.
Oh, it's just kind of like, meh.
Yeah, he wrote it down in his notes, and he's like, I don't think I'm going to do anything for these people. And he kind of, sort of acted like he talked it out with the hospital, maybe, but they just pretty much told him to use his golden gloves and just leave him alone. He's like, well, whatever. I mean, it's not in our rules that we have to do anything about this as long as they're not being neglected. And in his logic, she wasn't being neglected. She was being overly handled.
Right.
And he's like, well, it's not really against the rules, so whatever. I'm not going to do anything. But right around the same time, there's an anonymous tip onto the police about all this weird stuff that was going on. So they went up to the house.
You've been Flasterstein.
You just been Flastersteined.
Unfortunately, the cops got Dee Dee'd. She just showed him around. She's like, look at my daughter. She's weird. And they're like, oh my god, you're right.
Sorry.
There's nothing going wrong.
God, you're right.
There's nothing going wrong here. You're taking care of this girl just fine. And we're going to leave before it gets too weird.
Because she'll just be weird forever, Dee Dee. You just go on and do your thing in Missouri.
You do your thing.
Wow. Okay, so they have a house. They go on these trips.
Yeah.
They're taking trips from other unfortunate children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going on trips all the time. They go to Disney World a bunch because Gypsy loves Disney a whole bunch. So she actually ends up starting to go out to these little fantasy conventions in costume. She's like, even though I'm in a wheelchair, I can still dress up and look like a princess, whatever, all that fun stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So,
like the guy who did Sonic the Hedgehog in a wheelchair.
Oh, what was that from?
gotta go fast.
Oh, wait a minute. You talking about that movie?
Not that one. No, there's another one of like a guy eating like a hot dog or something, but he's in a wheelchair and he's dressed up as Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. Ever since the Sonic movie announcement, there's been some better material than the Sonic movie. So,
I mean, that's not really saying much.
right.
Isn't Nicolas Cage in it or something?
He is Sonic.
What?
No, I'm wrong. He might. No, he probably is.
I don't know.
But he's in it.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I sort of saw that poster.
Oh, man. And I thought someone that was like, oh, they're in it. It doesn't need to be made. Why is it being made? Okay,
Well, we're not talking about. We're talking about Disney
Sonic
characters. She did some Disney cosplay, and
Yeah, so she goes to one of these conferences, and she finally meets up with a dude she's been chatting with online.
Oh.
One thing leads to another, and they get up to his hotel room.
And this is Nicholas Goodjohn?
No, that's not him.
No. Cut that out.
Cut it out.
Okay, so she meets a guy online, gets a little frisky.
Oh, yeah, she's getting frisky. She could be trying to get away from Dee Dee here a little bit.
So she realizes that her legs do work.
Yeah, she's like, oh, shit.
And they open.
Look up, look down. Look all around. She's running. I was running.
Jenny.
I'm sorry I ruined your Black Panther party.
Gypsy, I love you. So
she had a little Disney smash.
Dee Dee immediately finds out because it's like the one time she hasn't been around
goofy
her.
on you. I smell goofy on you, you whore.
You've been eating Scooby Snacks.
She tracks her down in the hotel room and pretty much kicks the door in. And she's like, what the hell are you doing with this girl? She's underage. I've got this doctored birth certificate to prove it. So he freaks out. He just pretty much runs off, and he's like, whatever, give me the hell away from these people.
I'm out of here.
Yep. Now, did he run into midair for a few seconds before he took off?
I can only imagine he did.
The wind is all kicking papers out.
Golly.
Oh, yeah. Yep. She was actually 20 years old at the time, but it's just another one of those weird fake papers Dee Dee had on hand.
Right. It's like, you're 9.
Yep, exactly. They were telling her fake ages her whole life.
Wow, guy just couldn't. That's just so crazy.
You're 9. Now take this tampon and go change.
So as soon as they got home, Dee Dee said, how fucking dare you? She takes a hammer, she smashes Gypsy's laptop and her cell phone.
Oh, man, it's expensive.
Yeah. Plus, it doesn't matter. She's got all sorts of free shit coming in at this point.
From fucking fraud.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably so many donated laptops coming in. It's like every other day.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, now you better be careful next time. Here's the other laptop. Here's the phone.
That's exactly what happened.
Get the fuck out of here.
So shortly thereafter, Gypsy begins chatting with more people online. Presumably she got another laptop or cell phone or something. And this time she starts chatting with this fella, Nicholas Godejohn.
Ooh, that's a handsome name.
What people go to John for? Something ridiculous.
Well, have I got a story for you? So Nicholas John had himself a little history already. There was one good case where he was at McDonald's watching porn for 9 hours straight.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
In the McDonald's?
That's stamina. That shows dedication, stamina, and you know what? You don't even need a resume. You should be hired on the spot at McDonald's for that kind of display.
He's there longer than the workers.
Right. And he could outlast them.
I actually brought the girls to a place. I'm not going to tout them. It was a sandwich place, soups and all that stuff. It's decent looking, whatever.
Sure.
But we go in, and I'm looking for seating. I'm like, oh, that one booth's open. I'm like, that bag in the booth. Go over to the booth. There's a homeless guy sitting in the booth taking a nap with slippers on. He's got some bags there, and no one's doing anything.
Yeah,
just let him be. It's not bothering anybody.
Sure,
can't smell anything.
Yeah,
so I'm like, all right, it's fine.
Hey, there was that person who got kicked out of homeless person got kicked out of McDonald's recently after he was bought food.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, someone bought food for him?
Somebody bought food for him, but they still removed him and called the police. Yeah.
What?
Right.
Makes no sense.
Okay.
Last time I was at that Chinese food place downtown. Saw some dude just passed out, sleeping in a little booth there. Everybody's just letting him sleep. No problem.
Yeah. At the buffet one?
If you buy
not going there anymore.
No.
If you pay the,
I don't think I'm going with a sandwich place. It's low.
Like I think if somebody who's homeless or down on their luck and somebody buys them food at an establishment like the McDonald's or something, and they're they're eating with that person, like, what right do they have to be removed? I just, I don't get that. But.
Sure.
I think they're thinking very, very infantile. Like, well, if we let one homeless person eat in here,
say the gentleman you saw had bought a sandwich and ate some of it and then went to sleep. Now I've fallen asleep. I've worked my ass off sometimes and fallen asleep.
They'd be like, "Excuse me, sir, you can't sleep here." I'd be like, "Wait a minute, I just saw some. We don't give a fuck what you saw. We're telling you what we see right now, and it's unacceptable for you to be sitting here taking a nap. You only took one bite of your sandwich. We're not stupid."
At least they weren't masturbating like Nick for 9 hours. That's scab worthy. That's like you can get scabbed.
Oh yeah, he's chafing.
Yeah.
Wow, he's the real Hanzo the Razor.
And then,
speaking of the Razor, they go in with the cops to arrest him, and wouldn't you know it, he's just sitting in there with a knife while he's masturbating, just in case.
Just in case what? Like he gets an itch? I don't know. Like what?
I don't know.
Or somebody messes with him.
Safety first. He's probably trying to fight off the alkyd
He's
at that point.
He's got to get the itch through all those layers from so he's able
calluses.
to do 9 hours of that shit.
Yeah, calluses. All right.
Oh, that sounds like a nightmare.
Well, you get away from my fries.
Probably looks
Don't
like
you be out of my fries.
Probably looks like a mud wash
Don't
fucking
be
hive.
Don't you eye my fries or my thighs.
I'm Nicholas Goodjohn.
It's like some fucking tuber. Get ready for it.
So he's arrested.
Tickling fries.
Tickling fries.
Want some tickling fries? I'll tickle you inside. That's what that should do.
So, he was, he's got a history with the law. He's diagnosed autistic, Asperger's. He also claims he's got a bunch of multiple personalities going on.
Like, I'm Nicholas, I'm Nick.
Yeah, so
I'm Nick with a K.
He's not always
Nick
to
with a
be
C.
blamed for his deeds, because it wasn't him, it was the other personality.
Well, he seems about as smart as, like that Tony Danza guy who always played Tony in every show he did.
Mm-hmm.
So, I bet, all of his personalities are named Nick somehow.
There's actually going to be a biodoc coming out where Tony Danza plays Tony Danza playing Tony.
Good. I hope he chokes.
Inception.
Yeah, I think he'll fall into a T-hole.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, Angela. So, what happens with these?
So he has multiple personalities.
Yep, so he's chatting with Gypsy here online,
who has one hell of a personality of her own.
Yeah. So she just wants to satisfy all of his personalities, so she comes up with one for each one of his. That way they can all get along well.
Okay. That sounds like a good partnership.
Yeah, definitely. This is exactly what I look for in my online dating. She had one that was Kitty, who is her innocent little girl side. Meow, meow. She had Candy, who is Gypsy's little slutty side.
Oh, I like it like that.
Lollipop.
And then Ruby, who is her evil dark side.
I wear slippers.
And I have stilettos, I'll stomp your nuts.
Watch this. I'm going to stomp your nuts.
But I can't use my legs. Oh, wait, I can. Okay. I'm Ruby.
Ruby can use your legs. Everybody knows that.
Right.
Scissor kick.
Yeah.
I'll buy a kick.
So they're online dating, kind of fooling around, role-playing for, going on a year now. And she decides to tell Nicholas the whole truth about everything, that she's actually relatively fine and just her mom's lying to everyone about her.
Well, I mean, she's not fine anymore. She can't eat on her own, and her legs are probably atrophied. She's...
You need a spray bottle to eat. Spray between bites.
But yeah, imagine just being aware that one moment, like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
Wow.
You don't really understand how much you miss saliva until you don't have it anymore. Mm-hmm. Everything is sand.
Just so thirsty.
True. Very true.
Fucking horrible. I mean, think about the mental shit that she went through because of that.
Yeah.
So Gypsy and her other three pals, and Nicholas and his Nicks, they
decide to have a little rendezvous.
Well,
yeah.
We know Gypsy likes to frolic.
Mm-hmm. So they decide they're going to go meet in a movie theater when Gypsy and her mom go out to catch the newest Cinderella movie, the live-action one.
The live-action?
Cinderella.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good romantic time.
Very romantic. So keeping in the spirit with the romance, the movie starts, and they both kind of slip off to the bathroom, and they go just... it's the first time they met, so they definitely go immediately have intercourse in the men's restroom.
It started with just a tip.
Oh, yeah, just the tip.
Trust me.
But apparently...
I don't need the wheelchair, but you can use it on me if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, why don't we play a game? You ever watch Transformers? I'm going to turn into a wheelchair. And you're going to sit on me.
Roll out.
And Nicholas said, I didn't even know what was going on, but I just let her do whatever.
Well, okay, sure.
Announced tonight, Nicholas go to John, went to town.
And then Nicholas became Nick, and I see. And he's like, I'll take it. All right. That's what my dad used to do.
Nicholas, great John.
I don't think the Holy Spirit's coming in me. I'm coming out. Oh.
I need Papa Nicholas.
What's that silly string coming out?
Look, I've seen United States of Terror. I know about multiple personalities, okay?
So they finish their coitus meetup here, and they run them back off to the movie. And it's just the three of them in the movie theater. And Gypsy's in there trying to talk to Dee Dee. She's like, look at that cute man over there. Isn't he nice? I think maybe we should sit with him and talk with him.
You smell like him.
Mm-hmm. Dee Dee the whole time's like, that man's fucking weird. What's he doing in a little girl movie all by himself? He ain't got no kids. He ain't got no girl here with him. He's weird as hell.
Yeah, it look like he just eat chipped beef on toast all day. Stay away from him. Smells like lube.
Well, that would infuriate anybody because, you just met the love of your life and just had a little steamy intercourse in the movie theater bathroom.
Mama, I love him. He loved me too. We love each other. I don't like you, Mama. You took away my spit.
Nah. Gypsy wimped out. She didn't even tell Dee Dee that she knew who this guy was. Eventually, she just got steamed up and it's like, whatever, Mama. I'm just fine. Let's just get the hell out of here. Stupid movie anyways.
It is.
I know how it ends. It ends everly.
I've seen it on the VHS.
I'll get my laser disc from my friends. I'll watch it.
Pop it on the LD. So, the movie ends. They all run off their separate ways. And then have another fight later on. And Gypsy's like, Nick, you know how you say you protect me from anybody? Would you even protect me from my mama?
I mean, he didn't protect her from Cinderella. That movie shit.
Well, now he can protect her from Dee Dee.
Well, I mean, that's a bond. Bathroom sex can become a bond for life.
What can?
Bathroom sex. Toilet sex. Stall sex.
Restroom.
I've never had sex in a public bathroom. Can't do public bathrooms. I can't even use the public bathroom besides
even with yourself. That counts.
Ooh.
You don't have to answer.
In the public
you can answer
restroom?
later. You can answer later.
Off the record.
At work.
You gotta bring your hand up. What the fuck's going on?
Alright, so the next time they had a fight, they said that ready to give all in to this fella. She's all on board with him, and she wanted to throw her future in with him.
Wow. I mean, that's some crazy sex.
Yeah, it was really good bathroom sex.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be the best.
Yeah. But she said the only way they can be together if his mama's not in the picture anymore.
Right. And everybody always tells her to go away.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm sure Nick is probably a strong guy. He'd probably just go, hey, go away.
Yeah.
And she'd run away.
Get out of here, you.
Not again. Okay, I'm packing my bags.
Well, to be fair, she left at the drop of a hat.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, Gypsy scrounged up some money, and she paid for Nick to take a bus ticket right back out to where they were again.
I wonder if Gypsy used the family tactic of like signing up credit cards from people's names.
Yeah, I don't know, probably
smart.
They probably had all sorts of money lying around at this point anyways.
Oh, you're right. Just sell a laptop.
Yeah, whatever. Public support was huge. Probably just sold off a trip to Disney or something. So she paid for his bus ticket, and then she left him a pair of gloves outside the house. And then they both just waited until Dee Dee went to sleep for the night. Then Nick showed up, and he said, "Hey, Gypsy, I'm outside." Just sent him a little text.
You want a little stabbing before I do some stabbing.
Mm-hmm. And she said, no, shut the hell up. I got a squeaky front door, so you better sneak in real quiet like.
And my wheels squeak too, so don't even push me.
Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge.
Squeak! Dee Dee's awake now!
I'm trying to get me some head. Oh.
I'm sure that's how Dee Dee, like, probably woke up, too. Dee Dee's awake now! It's third person. You woke Dee Dee up again, how you gonna get your medicine? It's time for breakfast.
Give me that windshield wiper fluid. We ran out of milk.
So Nick arrives.
So he arrives. He throws the gloves on that she left there for him.
Somebody
and,
watch Dexter.
Mm-hmm. She knows what's going on. So she opens the door for him, gives him a knife, and then she goes and locks herself in the bathroom, gets down in the fetal position, covers up her ears because she doesn't want to hear what's coming next.
Another family tactic.
Mm-hmm. It's a powerful way to deal with your problems.
Right. I don't hear it. Didn't happen.
Yep. Bingo. And then
I'm 3. I'm 9 or 3 years old. I don't know.
9, 3, 18. I don't know. Something like football plays, getting ready to go. Then Nick grabs the knife, runs into Dee Dee's room, and just starts stabbing her like crazy in the back.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Dee Dee starts crying. She's screaming. She's yelling out for Gypsy. And then Gypsy's crying in the bathroom, pretending she doesn't hear it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, it doesn't really faze Nick. He doesn't really seem to care that much.
No, he just wants to have some more sex.
Yeah, well, good news. As soon as the deed gets done, the two of them start going at it again, hot and heavy.
In the bathroom?
Yeah, right in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's a place to do it, really, when you're in love.
Yeah, they have a running streak of positive bathroom sex.
Yeah, this is good. Okay, but, I mean, it leads to murder, so...
Right.
You know...
Well, it's like a sex murder sandwich.
Right, and it's Little Death.
Yeah.
I guess it could be...
It's Natural Born Killers, directed by Harmony Korine.
Ugh. So it sucks.
Oh, it's horrible.
Jeez.
Well.
Did he have sex in the wounds?
No. Actually, that was a hotly debated topic. No, he did not put his penis or mouth anywhere on Dee Dee.
Okay.
That was actually a topic?
Yes, because in some of the chats he said he was going to kill her his way, which was by raping her and then killing her.
Classy guy.
Yeah. So Gypsy said, what about instead of raping her, you just rape me and kill her? And he said, alright, that's fine. So he kills her, goes in the bathroom, they start fucking. After the oral, she decides she's had enough. She says stop. He doesn't. And then he can't come, and he's not sure why. All around, it was not a great sexual experience.
So it was like
after
non-consensual.
the murder. Yeah, no, not at all consensual. But, you know.
Just brutal to the bitter end.
Yeah. So they decide they should probably leave because of that dead body. So they take the gloves, the murder weapon, and like $4,000 in cash from Dee Dee's savings there. Drop it in an envelope, mail it off to Nick's house.
Okay. Knife in the mail. Mm-hmm. Sure. Bloody knife in the mail.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
With cash.
Well, it's a padded envelope, so that...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nobody'll fuck with that.
No, it's fine. No problem.
This is... You know what this is also like? This is like Gilbert Grape from Hell. It really is. It's just Gilbert Grape from Hell.
That's crazy.
So, they take a cab that night to a hotel. They spend the night because it's exhausting work, murdering and fucking.
Did they have more sex?
Actually, they did.
Okay.
And there's even a little snippet from their hotel room footage because...
They filmed this.
They filmed all sorts of cool stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did they film the murder?
I don't believe they filmed the murder.
Okay. That's good.
They definitely filmed in the hotel room. There's a little clip where they're waking up the next morning and he's eating a brownie and she sings a song like, first he eating a brownie, then he gonna eat me next.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
See, I'm just thinking it's like they're reenacting It's a Small World ride at Disneyland, you know. Like,
So this is from the documentary, right?
Yeah, this is from the documentary, and I'm going to say it shifted back into being consensual based on that video of her getting excited.
You don't think that's just another Munchausen happening again?
She's looking to munch down on something.
Munchausen.
So,
Mine shoes.
they check out of the hotel. They check out of the hotel the next morning. They catch a Greyhound bus back to his family home in Wisconsin. And Gypsy said she didn't even think about her mom being dead anymore, because whatever.
Well, do you blame her?
No. It was
I don't.
total drag living with mom, so she's like, whatever, I'm a beautiful bluebird that's been set free.
Oh, to land on Cinderella's fucking finger. Okay. Yeah, good luck with that.
See, that's the thing. She's been tortured, manipulated. She's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, murder's you don't ever need to go that far, but in this case, yeah, this person was just tortured their whole life.
Yeah. Yeah, she said once the cops were turned away that one time, she was like, well, no one can make this right now.
Right, and the doctor, oh, there's some Munchausen Byproxy, but you know what? They're poor, who cares?
Yeah, I don't care.
So they make it to Wisconsin?
Yeah, they made it to Wisconsin. They made it up to his family's house. Nick's mom, Stephanie, picked him up from the bus station. They came up with a little backstory, and they were like, oh, Gypsy Rose's mom kicked her out, so she's technically homeless now.
Well, they're not really lying.
Yeah. Yeah. So, then they were just living there for a couple days. They got a package in the mail, didn't think anything of it, so made it through the mail just fine.
Sure, okay.
But, yeah, they eventually got caught by the cops.
Yeah, somebody would probably notice, the smell maybe?
Well, they noticed the dead body because Gypsy also put on her Facebook post that day, the bitch is dead. Got her. The bitch is dead.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Got him.
Yeah.
There's a admission.
Yeah, that's the one that did it.
Okay. Well, case closed.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, that's pretty good admission. So, what was the charge?
Ended up getting them with murder. They said it was murder in the first degree at first, but as they started unraveling the case, they just charged her with murder in the second. She got 10 years in prison, but at this rate, she'll be eligible for parole in 2024 at 32 years old.
Oh, so she's at least going to have a chance to have
That's somewhat
something
normal
life.
life.
I mean,
Hopefully.
she's going to probably be on probation for 5 years.
Well, she's also going to be needing care the rest of her life, too.
She will, but you never know.
A lot of her health problems
May
have
make
cleared
it
up
out.
while she's been in prison.
No, that's good.
Yeah, they showed the little snippets of her. She's
Time to lift, you can lift in prison.
Oh, yeah, she said she's out in the rec yard and everything. Just
Probably time of her life.
yeah.
Compared to what she was in.
She seems much happier, to be honest.
10 years, that's... But what about Nicholas?
Nicholas, on the other hand, is facing a sentence of life in prison since he was the murderer and kind of the pushing premeditator for the whole thing.
He just did it for getting laid, too.
Yeah, definitely. He just did it for a trip to Pound Town.
Right. He's probably somebody like dig up graves or something in the spare time, too.
Yeah.
So,
But, yeah, he's looking at a life sentence, and he'll be sentenced here in February, actually.
wow. That's wild. I mean, it's just a terrible tale all the way from the beginning.
Yeah.
This is something that started in the 60s with Dee Dee, right? Was it 60s?
No, the 80s.
80s.
Yeah, 80s, I
sorry,
believe.
80s. But, yeah, that's a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
34 years.
And nobody wanted to bury Dee Dee. Mm-mm. The family wouldn't take her ashes, or the family wouldn't take her body, and they wouldn't pay for anything more than a cremation.
Yep.
And her final resting place was in the toilet.
Yeah.
They flushed her right down the toilet. Just Dee Dee Barrett, right? Or Blanchard. Dee Dee Blanchard, right down the toilet. And you know what? It's kind of fitting.
Yeah, all of her extended family said she got what was coming to her. She was crazy.
Now imagine having a child and your child gets sick and you keep bringing them to the doctor. Same thing, kind of looks like a poisoning. Mm-hmm. This happened to a woman named Patricia Stallings. She just had a baby, and after a few weeks, baby started getting discolored, looking funny, wasn't eating. After a while, they brought the baby to the doctor. This is in 1989. Her little boy Ryan, and the baby passed away. And when they did the autopsy, the baby had ethylene glycol, which is also antifreeze, in his blood. So the authorities suspected antifreeze poisoning, which is another kind of slow death kind of poisoning that's used in this Munchausen mental disease. And Stallings was sentenced to life in prison.
Oof. I mean, if she poisoned the kid, definitely sounds like probably deserved at that point.
I mean, it seems telltale. I mean, the child's blood was nearly all ethylene glycol.
Oh, yeah.
He was just saturated with it. Like, it was just, you're just given like almost full bottles of it.
Right.
They did testings. They didn't find anything in the bottles. But they're trying to figure out how she did this. And Stallings lived like a normal life. She didn't have like a horrible background or anything. And this is out in St. Louis. And when she was sentenced to life in prison, she was pregnant and had another child while in prison.
Okay.
And this child started developing the same symptoms. So the authorities got involved again. They were wondering if her husband David was smuggling in antifreeze, for her to do this. Like, it was like a team effort. So, he was under investigation, and she was under investigation again while in prison. And their son, little David Jr., was, dying in a hospital. They did some more testing and realized that the initial test they did for poisoning, like when they take blood samples, they'll heat them up really high, and then the signatures that the residue makes. I'm explaining this in extreme layman's terms, but the residue that it makes leaves a signature, and then there's a bar graph pattern that they can match it up to other things. So in this case, the ethylene glycol made like a perfect match on the grid to Ryan's blood. David Jr., their second son, who was born in prison, when they did this test again, they matched it up to an acid called propionic acid, which occurs naturally in your body.
Okay.
But it also differs from ethylene glycol by one carbon atom. So when they did their test and it matched up on this bar graph, I mean, it looked so similar.
But it was off by one atom.
Off by one atom, and you wouldn't really see that in this bar graph. So when they matched it up, they diagnosed the child with methylmalonic acidemia. And it's a genetic condition where your body produces high amounts of propionic acid. And it could look like you're being poisoned with antifreeze.
Wow.
So the investigation went forward, and it took some time. It took like another 6 months, but the defense attorney was able to have her freed, and they're able to go on and live their lives with little David Jr.
So they were able to save little David Jr.?
They were. He was, he had treatment for it, and he was able to grow up. Unfortunately, David Jr. did pass away in September 17th of 2013. But just that horror in itself, to know that you're innocent and your child is sick and died, and you didn't do this, but everything scientifically points against you, except for one carbon atom that wasn't even really a test. It wasn't like involved in that test at that point.
Yeah, she's got to be living through her own little hell there.
Yeah, to be life in prison, and then to find out you're pregnant on top of that, and then it happens again, and you're being blamed again, but you're still in the same situation. Your child's sick, nobody believes you.
Yeah,
that sounds like a story idea.
It could be one.
It totally sounds like a story idea.
Well, truth is stranger than fiction.
This is true.
We found that to be very true.
But, yeah, so, just to reflect, I mean...
yeah, things are clearly not always as they seem.
No. This Gypsy Rose was just brainwashed enough to believe that she could never walk or live a normal life. Mm-hmm. And Patricia Stallings knew she was innocent and lost a child and almost lost a second one because science just kind of played a cruel hand against her. And
someone was astute enough to look a little closer and found that shit. So.
Right. Fortunately,
So cheers to you.
Right. Gypsy Rose had a lot of doctors that just want to cut her open.
Yeah.
Money,
so. Yeah, you guys, except for
nothing
Dr.
changed.
Flipperstein.
Dr. Bernardo Flasterstein.
Flasterstein. Yeah, you've been Flastersteined.
Oh, man.
Oh, abuse. Crazy.
Fantastic.
Well, on that note, I'm going to go send my kid an email, tell her I love her, because I love my kid. I'd never do anything like that to anyone.
No, don't anybody do anything to anyone, or kid, or anyone. Just, fuck, man. Experiment with, dolls and leave it at dolls. How's that?
Just don't do this weird shit. Just knock it off.
Right. Or do it in Second Life or something. That weird
Second Life
video
is still
game.
up?
I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
I'm going to go
Don't
mud.
do it there either.
I'm going to do some Dragon Mud.
Dragon Mud? Is that like some cleanser? We'll talk about that. But be good to yourselves. Be good to everyone. We're the Weird and the Weary. I'm Jason.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Lee.
Catch us on Instagram, Weird and the Weary, Twitter, Weird and Weary, and www.weirdandweary.com. We love you all. Be good to your kids. Catch you next time.
And thank you goes to Erin Lee Carr for her documentary Mommy, Dead and Dearest, debuted on HBO 2017.
Claudine! I'm away. Dee Dee's away!
Now put that gold rod in my swamp thing.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
JKL Media.
Jekyll.